Oh, he's not afraid to call them retards, and he will back his shit up. They call him Uncle Terry, and he truly doesn't give a fuck.
What's going on, people? I am Terry Dunning, and welcome to Slap Chat Live. I got a few things to talk about, so let's get straight into them. And it's been a very exciting week, man, guys. We had Power Slap 18 last week, and of course, I haven't released all my videos yet. I also have a job. I took a few days off for Power Slap coverage. This platform did stay busy, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But we did stay busy that week, and I'd have some things I want to cover. The first thing I do want to mention, though, is we got 400 plus new subscribers over on Facebook, man. So welcome those new people, man. Thank you so much for following this platform. And last I looked, and let me bring up the page so I can see it real quick just to make sure. Last I looked, yeah, one video that I posted was at 142,000 views now. So, and that's huge for less than a week. So thank you for the new followers. Thank you for the clicks, man. I really appreciate you. We have grown, and we made an ass out of that other platform, and it's definitely showing. But I would like to talk about some things I did discuss during Power Slap Week. And one of them was I had the opportunity to talk to Mr. Ronnie Beta, who's Ron's dad, Power Slap light heavyweight champion, dad father. And I want people to know, Ron is not running from this sport, man. For those that are new to watching, and those that don't know, again, he is the light heavyweight champion. But he's been doing the sport a long time. He holds the record for the longest fight. I think it's like 29 rounds, where he went with Darius the Destroyer, and I think he has a 27 round. Don't quote me on the rounds, but it is in the high 20s, somewhere around 28, between 27 and 29. So he's got a lot of rounds in this sport, man. There's been a lot of damage to him. And I told Ron a while back, I care more about him than the sport. I won't lie. He's the reason why I cover it. I told him, bro, it might be time to hang it up. I don't want to see you hurt. I don't want to see 10 years from now and talk to you where there's damage. And I know there's guys in this sport that have suffered damage. Edward Salazar is one. Brandon Bardu suffered some serious damage. There's been guys, but I always worry about them on a personal level. Even the ones I don't like. If Isaiah had suffered serious damage, I would not be happy for that. I really would. I would not want to see anybody hurt in the sport. So he's not running from the sport. Personally speaking, and speaking to Ron's dad, it may be time for Ron to pass the torch, if you will. So to hear him say that he's only doing one more match, I was super happy in a way for him. It'd be sad to see him leave the sport, but happy to know that, he knows when to throw in the towel when it's right. That he's not going to let the sport get the best of him, that he got the best of the sport and showed the best he can do in this sport. And that's one thing I do want to talk about that I spoke with Ronnie. And I'm working on an interview with him, hopefully this weekend, with Ron's dad. But I do know that he requested, I don't know if he actually got backstage, he was waiting to talk to Justin, who is Simbodi. He is the fight booker and stuff. And if you know Ron's dad, he doesn't hold back. He definitely speaks his mind. So I'm interested to see what he's got to say in the interview when I ask him what him and Justin got to talk about backstage. I think it'd be very, very funny. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, people have been asking me about my thoughts on Power Slap 18. The event, I will say I never give my full opinion until I watch it on TV because you do not see everything at a live event. You don't catch stuff. At the event, I was very, very impressed with Logan. He stood out. Petr, who I believe I'm pronouncing his name right, Truchlik. I was very impressed with him at the live event. But then I had people tell me, hey, did you see how Alan got screwed? I'm not going to lie. I am not a fan of Alan. Klingbeil, I believe is his last name, pronouncing it right. I'm not a fan of his. But I am a fan of the sport, and I will say this. When I see shit, I'll speak up. I don't have to be a fan of yours to speak up for you, and you don't even have to be a follower of mine for me to stand up for you. And we've seen that. And I want to show you a few things. Yes, I did see, after going back and looking, and I'm sharing the screen with you guys, I did see something I didn't notice at the live event. I did see that Logan did actually step, man. And there's a just before impact shot of Logan hitting Allen. And to show you just after impact, yes, his foot actually raised a little more. I did see that, guys, just to be clear, after reviewing it and stuff. But I also noticed something else inside of here, and I'm going to go back a few pictures. I also noticed Allen, because I know Allen to have a history of not being very clean and stuff, too. And if you notice, Allen's foot slightly lifted just before impact, and just after impact, his is actually raised more than Logan's. So when you ask me about this, I would say what's good for the goose is good for the gander on this one. Yes, they both stepped, and this is power slap. Power slap is letting that shit go on. Let's be real here. Power slap is allowing this shit to happen. It sucks that both of them, that it wasn't called at first, even for Allen, that he stepped. But Logan did it back, and people are saying Allen got robbed. Hey, that was a robbery match on both guys. Neither one of them are professionals, in my opinion. You can't have that few fights and call yourself a professional. You can't go to a 24-hour or a 3-day, 8-hour or 5-hour class or combine and call yourself a professional. It's just that's just not how sports works. So I expect stuff like that from people that are new to the sport. Do I feel bad for Allen? No, I don't. I don't, because he did it first. He did step, but I will speak up and say, yes, there was stepping on both sides. I did look at it. I'm no official for this sport. And again, you don't have to be a fan of mine for me to speak up. Both them guys stepped. They both fucked each other on that. But impact-wise, I would say Logan fucking put some stank on it, man. Logan is a serious threat. If he can watch that stepping next time, I don't think he's going to be a problem, definitely in that division. It's especially now that Ron's announced he does plan on leaving in the future. I think the best person in that division right now to hold the belt would be Logan next. But yes, I did see that. But there's another match that I do want to talk about that was a fuckery all around. And this one was very, very, to say the least, it was very unprofessional, and how it got away with not being called is beyond me. But let me show you a clip real quick. And I'm going to kind of go over it with you guys. And it was between Hayden and Glenn Stonehenge. And it slows up here. Watch this. What the fuck was that, man? He chopped him in the fucking neck. I'm surprised the guy ain't walking around or rolling around like Superman after a chop like that to the neck. That was the fuckery of the night to me. And that was on the undercard for those that don't know about this match and are wondering. Let me bring myself back up there so y'all can see my ugly mug. For those that are wondering about that fight and who was that, I'm going to be interviewing Glenn Stonehenge. I want to get his honest opinion. More so, I want to ask him how his neck is after being hit like that. I have never seen a shot so far off in covering the sport. In the early days of the sport, before Power Slap, I've never seen one that fucking far off. In fact, I'm wondering if this guy needs glasses or contacts. And I'm not taking a poke at Hayden Johnson, but that was fucking horrific, man. You chopped that dude in the neck, and it didn't get called. And then you celebrated like it was the fucking Super Bowl win, bro. That was horrific. That was very unprofessional. And I hope you apologize to Glenn. I'm going to find out, but I have never seen a chop like that to the neck before covering this sport. That was crazy that it didn't get called. And for you to be celebrating like that was something spectacular is beyond me. Now, I do want to cover a few people in the rankings real quick, because I noticed some stuff on social media, and I seen they just redid the rankings. I'm going to bring them up here so I can see them. It won't be on my screen, but just so I can see what's going on. I seen that I don't see Rambo anywhere in the rankings, but the guy he beat is ranked number 9, Jordan. I don't get that. How the hell is the guy he beat still ranked in the top 10, and Rican Rambo isn't? Then I noticed, and this is not to knock Wes Mena. I'm a huge supporter of Wes Mena. I think he represents the sport well. But how the fuck is he going up in the rankings? How the fuck does Wes go up 3 spots in the rankings when losing? And Zakir up to... I could tell you what's going on with the Zakir situation. I will say that Zakir is somebody they like, and I won't lie. I've been a big critic of Zakir, but the dude was impressive in his last match. I was surprised Wes actually got the first foul. But Zakir kept it clean, and huge shout out to him for keeping it clean and improving his game. I don't know if he should be ranked that high, but we definitely know they're pushing Zakir. But Darius, they got at number 3, and my inside sources say Darius is actually going against DeBell in April. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that match is locked in, as well as the Hitman versus McKinney. I'm hearing those 2 matches are locked in, those 2 titles. So I'm curious why they got Darius ranked way down number 3. But congratulations to Nate Bernard being bumped up to number 2. My biggest question, I guess, is what I'm getting at is who the fuck is doing the ratings or rankings over there? Is it their social media guy, Aiden? Is he the one doing the fucking rankings? Are they just like pulling names? I don't get these fucking rankings, but I will tell the fighters this. For the ones that don't make it, don't pay so much attention to that. Pay attention to your performance. Nobody knows who the fuck is actually doing these rankings, and they don't make no sense, man. So if you're performing well, focus on that. I know Johnny Magna should be ranked higher. I'm baffled that he's not up there with his performances he's had. I think he should be ranked beyond some of these people that are up there. But for those that have asked me if I've seen the rankings and shit, guys, don't focus on that. Focus on your performance. Knock motherfuckers out and keep your game clean. That's what I can say about that. Now, other people are asking me, or people are telling me, hey, how busy was it? How packed was it in that arena? I will say this. For the most part, Power Slap 18 was pretty packed. But I did have 6 seats beside me that people purchased that were not mine, beside me, who all 6 people got up and left by the 3rd match in the prelims and never came back. We actually had other people from behind us that moved up to them seats eventually after another 3 or 4 matches. People aren't staying. I will say Nutsack is kind of right about one thing. People aren't staying at these fights, man. And why? I think it's a failure on that promotion. It's a lack of interest by Dana White. If you ask me, he's not focused on. He's more focused on the fucking boxing and shit like that. You got Frank, who's more interested in the skating and the fucking bikes and shit. There's nobody that's really focused solely on this sport, running this sport in that promotion. And that's my honest opinion. They should have somebody more focused solely on that, not wrestlers who are more interested in wrestling, not people that are into fucking skateboarding and shit, not people that are trying to promote their boxing. They should have somebody that's interested in slap fighting running that fucking promotion. And that's their biggest failure. They don't give a fuck about all these fouls that are taking place and things like that. Now, I did want to mention something. I brought something today because I put on one of my Nacho Daddy shirts, and one of my biggest fans, Isaiah Quiones, he likes this shirt. So I actually brought an extra one because I have a few of these. I brought an extra one for him because I know his spirit in his sport's about gone, even though, in my opinion, it already is. We know he's not going to exist much longer. So in spirit, I brought a shirt for him to wear beside me. I know he's got a lot of shit to say, but he's quiet when he's over here. Lastly, I do want to get into these nutbags. We got Ding and Dong here, and I'm going to show you a clip, and I'm going to kind of narrate my opinion and why we go. But let me go ahead and roll this clip here.
So, nevertheless, we are an hour and 51 minutes in. Incredible Vegas trip.
Now watch Corey's face.
Just breaking the fourth wall. The tailgate was very enjoyable. We didn't do as much. We tried not to be so busy.
Are you fucking kidding me, dude? No, we know you guys don't do much to begin with. But I do want to point out, man, while you guys weren't so busy, my girlfriend was actually out there with a fractured fucking leg. She had fractured it the day before in a motorcycle accident. And she still, not one person fucking noticed. She limped and she went 4 days covering this sport while you guys weren't busy. She stayed very busy. Didn't even go to the hospital until after fucking fight week. But watch Corey's face as he mentions how they weren't busy and didn't do much.
In the sense that we could really mingle with people who were attending. I thought it was a great atmosphere. A lot of people, I was pleasantly surprised. A lot of people were able to capture that moment and memorialize it in their own way in spite of the wind. Obviously, our friends from the Beast stopped by and
oh, blah, 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 blah. Now, keep in mind, this guy was asked, Amir asked him several times, people were asking him, hey, what happened with Terry and shit? He didn't mention that. They won't sell that one bit. Why? Because he walked up and acted like a badass. But he walked away looking like a bitch in the end. But they don't talk about that. And Corey, I don't know if Corey knows. I'm sure he knows, but I don't know if he knew that Nutsack was going to come up like that, because I'm sure Corey investing a lot into that platform over there would not fucking support somebody walking up to me, because anybody you send to me, I'm going to fucking bury right there. I'm going to make him look like a retard. But let's listen more as he says, and watch Corey's face the whole time he's talking about how the lack of shit they did at Power Slap 18.
And brought Damo Walker, who obviously was a pleasure for us to kind of hang out with. Our friends from Head Rush, of course. You know.
Oh yeah, Head Rush. Now that you mention them, I want to ask you something. Are they paying you? Not to knock Head Rush, but I know they're using fighters' names to make money, and I know for a fact they're not giving these fighters a fucking dime for it. So while you mention Head Rush, I'm curious if you would have kindly asked them, because they won't respond to me when I ask them anymore. If you'd ask them if they would kindly let me know if they're paying the fighters whose names they're using to make money, if they're paying them a fucking dime at all. But let's go ahead and listen to what else you got to say.
Supporting us, giving out some gear and swag, not only to the athletes but also to us. And the memorial of Vern White, of course, as the staple piece in the front of the. Everybody had to walk past it, and if you wanted to pay your respects to Vern White, there was a video package that we had playing on that table, as well as a photo of him.
Oh, geez, you guys, everybody trying to feed off Vern White, man.
Executed the way that we had envisioned. So ultimately, a great time, a great social opportunity, good spirits overall.
Oh yeah, what was your spirit when you got bitched
I
up?
thought Fight Night for us was
Look at
as
Corey's
seamless
face
as
though.
it could be. I don't know how you felt on the backside, but very little hiccups. You know, everybody
Oh,
did
you
their
were
part.
the
We
hiccup. You
did
were the
our best
fucking burp.
to check all the boxes that we sort of pride ourselves on checking, and that's that.
I'll say this.
Ding, who wins out of me and Wolverine? Come on, Logan. You know I'm not gonna answer that question. Go ahead.
Corey
I'll
is
say this.
pissed.
I disagree with you on the beginning part. Slap News was anywhere and everywhere, and I think we put out more content than anybody else did consistently.
No, you
It was
don't.
on-
Wait,
You
what did
guys
you
don't
say?
put out enough
You were
content.
just saying that
Nothing
everyone was
real.
available.
Not that
so
anybody's
we-
interested.
No. I said we didn't do as
But
much.
look at these
we
numbers.
didn't inundate ourselves with activities to avoid not being able to deal with
This is
it.
the
We
breakdown
wanted to
of
be able to engage,
Slap
so we
Crap.
didn't do a live broadcast. Like we tried to focus our energy in a specific place, and I think we nailed that.
Yeah,
Is
think
where I
we
was
did put it
going.
there, my man. I think we're
Yeah, I gotta be honest, man. I watched this over and over, and I was in tears laughing. Ding, man. I'm not a fan of yours, but Ding and Dong, I gotta tell you, you guys, this is the breakdown of your platform. Now, I called it before when I said Titty Bags or whatever the fuck her name. When I said her platform was gone, I was gonna bury you guys one at a time. I wasn't shitting. And this is the breakdown of you guys. You guys all came after my platform, and one by one, your platforms were all being slaughtered. You guys are breaking down, and it's all because of the fat little fucking gobstopper over there who walked the fuck up and started shit. And now I made him look like a bitch. And Corey's invested a lot into his platform, and you got his whole platform looking like a bitch right now. And then you call them out and tell them how you guys didn't do much. You guys didn't get much done except socialize. I know you didn't do much. You guys ain't getting none. You guys haven't done much in a long fucking time, to be honest with you. But watch my platform. But let's listen to the last little bit here because it gets entertaining at the end.
out there doing all the right things, trying to grow the sport, trying to put out legitimate content that
You're
represents
trying to
the
put out
sport in a
legitimate
positive
content. You guys
way,
have struggled, but you
and,
tried.
Continue to keep on moving, man. So appreciate you, Ding, for the hard work and effort. I know it's a trek for you to make it to Las Vegas, and
That's
keep on
good.
fighting the good
I
fight, my man.
In the spirit.
I'll let you go, Ding. It's
Use the lead.
time next week.
Look at these retards. Nobody knows how to close out the fucking software.
I'll let you go, Ding.
You just leave me here?
Doesn't
That's the
want me
plan?
to go.
Both of you look like retards.
So,
I was supposed to end on this cool thing. Now
You don't have
I
nothing
can't
cool
stop
about you,
so
fucking
gotta do something,
retard.
buddy. I
All right,
can't.
let's give it a try.
Anyways, so that's what we got with those retards. I'm telling you right now, I don't think that platform will be around much longer. I think these guys are breaking down. I'm curious to see because I do know security is heavily on this situation over at the Fountain Blue, and they weren't pissed with us one bit. Not one bit. In fact, they asked us to file a complaint, but we didn't do it. They asked us to file a complaint why Ding is over there talking about his security and shit. I'm like, where's your security, bro? Where's your security right now when you got Hawaiians walking the fuck up on you? You and your little dude that's beside you making you guys look like bitch right now. You guys don't have security. Security was not happy that you walked up on my family. Now I'm sure Corey's not happy you're bringing down his fucking platform. With that said, I think I'm going to bounce, man. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, I have some interviews this week signed up. I got Glenn Stonehands. I'm going to ask him how his neck is after that fucking chop from Hayden. Also, Ronnie Beta, who's Ron's dad. I want to speak to him about what he said to Sim Bodie backstage after Power Slap 18. I think that's going to be very entertaining. As well as I got some Run Nation guys signed up this week. So, guys, pay attention to this platform. When everybody else is failing, falling apart, and having mental breakdowns, I got you guys fucking covered. With that said, you guys have a kick-ass day, and we'll see you guys soon.
Joe's got a belly that Joe's Wang moves. He's the king of the facts, yeah, he's got the groove. Sits in his chair, puffing clouds to the moon. His laughs like thunder, you can hear it boom. Chunky Terry's got the mic, watch him go. Lighten up the truth while the smoke billows slow. Making competition look dumb on the show. Chunky Terry's groove, baby, don't you know? Hell, dig through the dirt, find the gold in the grime. He's the Sherlock of podcasts, solving truths in no time. Got a joke for the jokers, a burn for the fools. Terry's the professor, rewriting the rules. He's got that wit, sharper than a blade.